So I found out that my local cinema are going to be showing the Blair Witch Project on the big screen, and I was oh, what's that? And I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to try and make myself some Blair Witch symbols to take along with me, so I might freak out some of the people in the audience. And oh, I sure I heard something. And so I think the first thing I need to do is find a load of sticks to make these symbols with, right? So that's what I'm going to do now. What's that? Run! Just run! Run! Ah! Ah! Right, so we've got our sticks there, and we also need some twine, very useful, and we need some scissors. Right, so first thing we need to do is get some sticks roughly the same sort of size, okay? So I think we're going to need, I think they've got to be quite even. They look quite even on the old film, so that, like, we'll start off doing like a smallish sort of one, just to test it all out. Look at this way they are. You need 4, right? We need 4 sticks. That'll work. I think it's better if they're not 100% exactly the same length, so it kind of looks a bit more rustic. Also, I was thinking about this actually, that if it is too long, you have to just sort of snap the end. So you've got one that's sort of the same sort of length, but I was thinking should have cut them, but no, I think if you snap them, they're a bit more real, because they get that sort of jaggedy edge. It makes it a bit more real to me. So, looking at the picture, I think you start off by sort of like crossing 2 like that, and like tie them together in the middle. I'm try to get a straight one. Let's try 2 straight ones. There we go. Try that. So crossing them like that at the start, and then we get a bit of twine. So I'm very professional. I've absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Give that a bit of a cut, a bit of twine. Cut it there. Now how do I tie this? Let's have a look. I don't know, doubt this thing popped in my head. So if I cross them like, oh god, and I got there. I was actually in the Sea Scouts, but as you can see, I remember nothing of it. There's probably some mega clever little scout knot you can do to make this happen. I just don't know what that is. So there we go. Look, that kind of works to me. Then you tie that there, I guess. I might tie her in the back. So yeah, that ties there. It's quite. Well, actually, I was going to say it's quite simple. Now I can't believe tie this knot. Look at this. Well, I should have paid more attention when I was in the Scouts. It was not my favourite lessons, obviously. Right, so there we go. That's tied. So we've got like a little cross. Right, I've got a cross now. I might do it that way up. So now, so the two will be that way. I know I'm kind of at a wonky angle here. I'm sorry about that. It's just hard to get this. It was hard to sort of have like myself this way, because I sort of look through the camera. It'd be annoying. Right, so now I've done that. So now we need one that goes across here at the top, like that. So I guess I've got to do a couple more bits of twine. Twine. I'm guessing the witch in the forest had a pair of scissors, because trying to cut that without a pair of scissors would be a right pain in the bum, wouldn't it? There we go. So now I guess we do the same here. I might tie the little first knot to secure it, because I can see it's been a right pain. Oh, actually, that was quite easy. I stand corrected. That is actually quite easy. Okay. Tie another knot here, so I get like extra secure. I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. Like that. And then that one's got to go up here. I knew that GMVQ in art and design would come in handy somewhere. Look at that. I actually have 2 GMVQs. I have an intermediate level GMVQ in art and design and an advanced GMVQ in art and design. And since finishing those courses in art and design, I have used them for work. Never. They've never actually come into sort of like, I've never done anything to do with that sort of thing. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I wanted to become like a movie maker, but sadly life got in the way and I never managed to do it. But suppose I'm doing it now, really, technically. I'm making my own little movie now, a documentary on how to make Blair Witch symbols. There we go. Oh my god, I made that too short. That works. So we've got that now. So from your angle, we've got that. Now right. So there's another one that sort of comes up here. Well, that should be shorter. We've got a short one. Here we go. Now the other one sort of comes up in there, like that, right? It comes up there. Now if I go too low, it's going to look a bit dodgy, isn't it? So it's got to come up higher, because that obviously then becomes something very different, right? So we want it to go up about here. That look good? I can imagine, so when they filmed the original Blair Witch, and getting all the cast and crew doing this, you'll see a very, very low budget movie. I think it's like the most profitable movie ever made or something, I believe. Actually, I'm going to start in the middle here. That's quite fiddly, so. I think it's the most profitable movie made. It made like so much money on a like shoestring budget, like one of the tiniest budgets, because it was a found footage film. And it cost them almost nothing to make. Yes, but if you secure it first, then start doing a wrap round. Ah. So I can imagine the whole cast and crew being part of the sort of like props department, all of them sitting there on their break, sort of like making these. That's what I envision it anyway. Not everyone getting involved. Right, now I want to kind of, well, actually that's kind of secure as it is, but I kind of want to secure that more there, so I'll probably get another bit of string. Or twine, whatever it's just garden twine. Local like garden shop twine. We'll get from anywhere really. And then I'll tie that bit here. Do you know what? This has actually been so easy. I thought this would take me ages to do. It'd be really fiddly, but do you know what? I just made myself a little Blair Witch symbol. And look how easy that was. Seriously. And then what I can do, right, is put that, sorry, I don't know if you can see it now. I hope you have seen all this, because I might have moved my hand out of frame. I'm too busy staring at this thing to look at the camera, so if I've missed it, it's come out of frame, I'm very sorry. Like that there, under there. Then tie that in there, so we've got like a, I don't want to use the word, but you know, like, what it kind of resembles. There's certain words, if you use them on YouTube, you get your video banned. I don't want to use the word I wanted to just use then. But then you hang it from like a tree. Like that, so, yeah. There we go, look, so here you go, look. So you have a little Blair Witch thing hanging up there, that's freaky as hell. You can have loads of those hanging up in your trees in your garden for Halloween, or just do it for fun to freak out your neighbours. Have as decorations in your house if you want. Now one thing I did actually notice was that some of the, if you look at the actual like ones in the film, they'd like stuff sticking out all over them, like very naturey looking, like dry grass. So what I've done is my daughter happens to have guinea pigs, and she gives them like hay, right? So I thought if I get like clumps of hay, I don't know if it's going to ruin it or not. And then another bit of twine. Oh god, that's the wrong bit of twine. And then where's my twine? Put it under the hay. And then another bit of the old twine. Again, I'm making this all up on the spot. I have no clue. So you get like a clump of the hay, a bit of the twine. Ah, I'm having a real trouble with this. See, I said it was easy. Now look, I've got a bit too creative. It's all going wrong. And just give like a bit of that, and a bit of that, and you get a bit more like, I won't say natural, but a little bit more bushy looking. More twine. We'll have to buy more twine. But I do like, gotta be careful, so you can, some of the dog garden twine you can buy, it's kind of like a green colour. And that's not going to look good. But when you get sort of the, this sort of like browny sort of colour twine, I think that looks better. Because I do have some twine here that's actually like a dark green. There we go, look, so that looks a little bit better now to me. Let's give it a squeeze in. Yeah, so look at that, so look. It's again, it's Blair Witchy, but it's a little bit jaggedy, a little bit wassity. I'm making a real mess in the kitchen. My wife's going to kill me if she comes in and sees this. You can put some up here if you wanted to, I suppose. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my god, I've cut the twine the wrong bit now. Ah. I know you can't see the mistakes I'm making, but over here I'm trying to find the end of this twine. It's getting wrapped up. I've basically made a knot. It used to be a ball. This used to be a ball, but I've somehow done that to it. I don't know, over the years. There we go. Can't remember why I bought this garden twine for in the first place. I don't really do a lot of gardening to have twine, but kind of a nature garden, so it's a bit more rustic out there. Bit of that there. A bit of that on there. Do you know what I should have done before I started? I should have just cut loads of bits of twine before I started. Then it would have been a bit more professional instead of me like stressing out because I can't find the end of the twine. Which I've done a couple of times now. I was trying to turn a little twine long thing into like one big knot. I think the knots I'm using, by the way, it's called a reef knot, I believe. If you know if I'm wrong, obviously let me know in the comments below. And give me your expert opinion on what knot it is. But I think it's a reef knot. If it's left over right, right over left. I might have did it wrong, I don't know. It's like the most basic knot. It's almost like a shoelace knot, isn't it? There we go. So that's basically to make it look a bit more authentic. Could do that. Probably get some leaves in it if you wanted to, or you know, because obviously it's in the wood, so you're gonna get leaves. And I'm gonna try and hang this one up now. See what it looks like. Yeah, so look at by adding those little bits of hay there, it's gone a bit more realistic. It's a bit more rusticy looking. There we go. So there's our freak little Blair Witch sign. I said you can hang Halloween, hang loads of them in like the trees outside in your garden, hang off your porches, your doors, whatever you've got, you can hang them anywhere really. Hang up in the house to freak people out. Oh, do you know, if my kids are camping, like in the summer, I like to camp in the garden in a tent. How bad would it be if I went outside and hung loads of these around the tent? Getting watched Blair Witch the night before. That would be a cruel thing to do, wouldn't it? There we go, look at that. Simple and effective and shedding all over the place. Right, so I think I'm going to try and do a slightly bigger one now, because they do say bigger is best. So I might actually, yeah, that'll do. Give it like that. So again, exactly the same thing, just going to make it bigger. Oh my gosh. I actually thought this was going to be a lot harder than it was. I don't know why in my head I thought it was going to be quite complicated. I was going to like be dropping sticks everywhere and doing all kinds of stuff wrong. But actually it turned out it's actually quite the simplest thing I think I've ever actually made. I've made a few other things on this channel if you have a look. I made some little ghost things for Halloween once. If you go, I'll do like I've got a little list on the channel like making stuff, I think it's called. If you have a look on there, you'll see I made like a Halloween mask out of a cloth I bought in Home Bargains, and I made this like little ghosts out of some little polystyrene balls, a bit of metal, and an old bed sheet. Simple stuff, really. Let's see, my art degree, or whatever you want to call it, my art GMVQ hasn't really been used that much since I got it. That one, I'll just get a longer one. Where's my longer one? There we go, look at that. So yeah, it hasn't really been used much since I got it, but to be honest, you can use. I've used my art like GMVQ for at the advanced level, might I add. I've used it for my kids' homework a lot. That's where I get most creative. Like, they'll come home and they say, oh, like my son, he come home and he wanted to make an emporium for strange stuff. It was some project he had at school. So we sat down together and I built a little cardboard box sort of emporium with some like display stands. And we went through like a Ripley's Believe It or Not to find out some like freaky looking stuff to put in his emporium. It was quite interesting. But that was like quite a bit of an art piece. I've made like a shield for my son's, Reggie's, Roman Day or whatever it was. He wanted a shield. So we did that with a bit of wood. So yeah, I am using the art, just not probably what it's supposed to be used for. Which was supposed to be me directing feature films, but obviously that did not happen. Instead, I'm working in retail and factories. And I'm currently not working, I'm a stay-at-home dad. Which gives me time to do stuff like this. Which if you are a stay-at-home parent, you know you don't get a lot of time. You think you're going to get a lot of time, but you actually get no time at all. As I said, you can't look, that becomes rude. So you've got to be careful where you place your stick. See, normally by now I'd be singing like the theme to Blair Witch Project, but didn't really have a theme, did it? It was just creepy silence, most of it. Do you ever see the sequel to Blair Witch? It was called The Blair Witch Project 2. Book of something or other. But it was not very good, if I'm honest with you. But then they made a remake of I thought it was going to be a remake of the Blair Witch, called Blair Witch. But actually turned out to be a true sequel to the first one. And that wasn't a bad little film. It weren't great, I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't the best film I'd ever seen, but it weren't too bad. But the original is still the best. I remember going to the cinema and seeing that for the first time, like when it first came out. And luckily I managed to get in there before like a lot of it was like, sort of spoiled, but it was when there was that whole like disbelief. Is it true? Is it not true? So many people thought that film was real. It was literally all down to the marketing when it first. The marketing for that was incredible. They had a documentary, I remember on Sky TV, there's a documentary about how it was real. And it was just like, it was so well done. Like, you went on the website, they had like a fake website trying to promote that it really happened. Like, everything, all the events of the Blair was actually true. It was true found footage. Like, someone had really found it in the woods. All the Coffin Rock, that's pretty good. All the Coffin Rock stuff. It definitely does look better when I had this stuff, doesn't it? Much of a pain in the arse is trying to get this stuff on there. Oh, do you see? Now it's bigger, it's going to be harder to tie this stuff to it, isn't it? Oh god, where have I put it? So clamp that together. I can't find my little string. Who would have thought this would be the hardest part of it? It's when I tie the string, when I make the string, I try not to do too long of bits of string, but when you get so short, they're really hard to tie up. And I've got like clumsy fingers anyway, like I'm not the most finesse person there is. Like when it comes to tying knots, like I've got long clumsy fingers. Made my kitchen smell like a barn. In the comments below, let me know what your favourite found footage movie is. To be honest with you, Blair Witch is my favourite found footage movie. I like that VHS series, is quite cool. You watch that, some of the stories in that are really good. There's quite a few of those movies now actually. They're quite good movies. And what's the other one I liked? Cloverfield, that's another good one. I remember watching Cannibal Holocaust. That film was banned actually. That's a bit of a gruesome one. That was part of the Video Nasties, that Cannibal Holocaust. in found footage, they do give you the creeps. I'll tell you, right, so when I first watched Blair Witch, obviously I said it was at the cinema. And I remember with my friends, we watched it, and I was like, that's actually quite a good film. However, about 4 or 5 years later, I was on my own one night at home, and I thought, I'm going to watch Blair Witch, because I bought it on DVD, never really watched it after I'd seen it in the cinema, so I thought I'd get it on DVD. And this one night, turned all the lights off at home, sat down to watch Blair Witch, and it creeped me out more being at home on my own than it did in the cinema. Watching that on my own, it sort of really gave me the creeps. I suddenly got this, like, I want to say, like, anxiety, I suppose, from watching it. Like, oh God, like, I got a bit like, oh, as in, like, looking around the room sort of thing. It was really weird. And when I watched it in the cinema, I wasn't that freaked out by it. I thought it was a good film. Like, I liked the story. But, however, so at the time when that came out, I was obviously trying to become a filmmaker. I remember watching that film, and I come up with a much better ending to the original Blair Witch than you got. So, if you remember the end of the... Spoilers now if you haven't seen it, but... Remember the end of the movie? When she's, like, running around the house and that, and then she gets knocked on the head or whatever it is, and she sort of goes down. The camera goes down as well. And it sort of goes a bit fuzzy for a bit. You can see the floor, and it goes a bit fuzzy. And then it just switches off, and that's the end of the movie. Now, my version of the end of the movie would have been... just to make it that extra little bit creepier at the end, is the camera goes, she gets whacked on the head, camera goes down, and then you're sitting there, watching like the stack of it, suddenly the camera gets picked up, and it slowly starts to turn, as if someone's standing there, slowly turning the camera around, and then just as you're about to see, like you see like a little bit of like dark hair maybe, the camera's battery dies and cuts out. So you feel like you're about to see the witch, and then it cuts out before you see it. And I thought that would be a much better ending. That was I remember speaking on the way home from after the cinema. With my mate, I think it was my mate Tom I went to see that with. But on the way home from the cinema, I said to him, that, and he was like, that would have been so much better. Oh, why didn't they do that? And he was like, you should start making films. And out of the two of us, he ended up making films. He's a bit of a part-time actor. He's actually been in some films, so... I think his biggest, he was like in, I remember when he was younger, he was in Football Factory. I think with Danny Dyer was in that. And he was almost in one of the Star Wars movies. He actually went and filmed some stuff at Pinewood Studios for that. But I don't think they used the footage in the end. What scene he was in, they didn't use it. With the amount of reshoots of those Star Wars films, I had no bloody wonder. There we go. So that's our larger one. Looking rather snazzy. Just need a bit of string to hang the thing up there. Yeah. Kind of remind me of the Scarecrow. I don't mind that we did this in like, oh that's not long enough. I don't mind we did this in like real time. I kind of just wanted to do it in real time. I know a lot of people on YouTube, they sort of do these little cuts and that, so you sort of get to see the more fun side of it. But I kind of wanted to show you how long it actually takes to make these. Because I figured like, because sometimes you see these things, oh, you know what, it takes 5 minutes, and then like you're there 2 hours later still trying to work out how the hell they did it. So I think if we did it in real time, I think you get more, I'll say realism, but, do you know what I mean? Like, it just gets a bit more sense of actually how long this thing's going to take you to do. So I've done a few times, I've seen stuff on like YouTube, oh, I can make that, and I've got to make it, and like half an hour later I'm still there going, how the heck? But this way, you get to see it done as I do it and as you can do it. So there's the slightly bigger one. See the other one behind it. But yeah, so go as big and as crazy and as whatever you want, really. Do whatever the hell you like. That's the whole thing with things. You can do whatever you want. I'm dropping like stuff all over the floor. Got washing up I need to do still. Really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you go out and make them yourself. Simple, easy, cheap props to make for Halloween or for just general fun, really. If you like this video, please do give us a like, and also if you could share it with anyone you know that might be interested in making these, or just interested in films or the Blair Witch or horror films in general, please share it with them. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more videos on there as well. And subscribing is completely free. So don't worry if you think you push the subscribe button means you're going to pay me anyway. You don't. It's completely free. It just means you get to see more of the stuff I put out there. Do like movie reviews, trailer reviews, and various making things, apparently. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys again real soon. Oh, what was that noise? Dunk.